Welcome back to Database Migration to AWS Masterclass offered by Whizlabs. So this particular session is all about introduction to the course, the orientation to the course. And we would be discussing about various aspects of the migration, the theoretical underpinnings, the backgrounds, and why we do it, how we do it. What are the various strategies that we follow during migration? That's what we are all going to discuss. So why anyone would want to migrate to the cloud? Any organization, why, how, and what factors make them decide to migrate to the cloud? What are the various strategies for migrating the applications to the cloud? What are the various expectations from the migrations, and what is the vision regarding that? What are the various AWS migration oriented services? And last but not least, what is the database migration to the cloud? What are the various benefits? So that's what we'll all discuss. So let's dive in. Why are a lot of organizations, whether large or small, they are moving their infra, their applications, everything to cloud? Let's look at various reasons and various factors in deciding that. Agility and productivity of development and deployment. So this is a very important factor because you have all the tools present in the cloud, you have all the infra present in the cloud, you can provision them easily, you can do that quickly, and you can deploy really fast. Changes in team structure. So organizations these days, they are looking for smaller teams and greater automation. Cloud helps with that. Improved security. Security gets increased in the cloud because the cloud service providers, they are continuously enhancing their security. They already provide some baseline security which is certified. Saving money. You can save a lot of money by not having to keep your own infrastructure, your own servers. Readily available talent pools. So in today's market, a lot of talent is available to be able to work in the cloud. That makes it easy for organizations to choose whether to go to cloud or not. Rapid expansion, going global. So any organization, whether big or small these days, they can easily expand, they can easily go global with the help of the cloud. Improved availability of infrastructures. So the cloud providers, they have their data centers present at multiple availability zones, at multiple regions, and that really helps organizations to plan for their disaster recovery and availability. And the last but not the least is being able to utilize the latest technologies and the modernization of infrastructure. Now AWS, through their experience, have identified that there are majorly 6 application migration strategies. What are these various migration strategies? Let's discuss over. The first is rehosting. Rehosting means you're simply lifting an application from your data centers and you are just shifting it as it is without any changes to the AWS data centers. Now this would happen in ideal world, but this is not the case in most of the migrations. The second strategy is replatforming, where you you do some optimizations without changing the core architecture of the application and you shift it to the AWS. You might find that this is a more realistic scenario and you might be doing this more often than rehosting. The third is repurchasing, where you are moving to an entirely different platform, and generally it is applicable to the COTS, the commercial off the shelf software or the software as a service software. So for example, you are trying to move from one email provider such as Microsoft to another email provider such as Google. That would be a complete repurchasing and moving to a different platform. The fourth is refactoring or re-architecting. Now this is really a heavy job. Here you are trying to use more of the cloud native features and you would be changing major areas of application. You would be changing major architecture and the core of the application in this case. The fifth is retiring your applications, getting rid of them. The sixth is retaining your applications or doing nothing for now. So if you see from the perspective of our course, replatforming, refactoring or re-architecting, and the rehosting, these are the major areas that would be major strategies that we would be targeting when we are targeting the database migration to the AWS. Now you have decided to migrate to AWS. So what are your expectations from migration? What are the concerns that the migration should address? Let's go through that. The migration should be safe to perform, which means there should be no loss of data. There should be no loss of customer information and any financial information. And also the data should be migrated the way it is intended, as in the same formats, in the same volume. A migration should be fast to execute. That means minimum downtime and minimum duplication of infrastructure. The downtime means there's a loss to business, and that should not be happening, or that should be minimized. And while you are migrating from your in-house infra to the AWS infra, you are at the same time you'd be having two copies of the infra, and you'd be paying for that much. So you should minimize the duplication of infrastructure in that case. The third point is the migration should be performed securely, and the security should be designed in your plan of migration and in your actions while migrating. And you should not be introducing any new security concerns. That is a very critical point here, very critical concern here.